All right, here we go. Welcome to Sunday Money. We're back. We're doing it again. We're going to keep the party going, especially now that other podcasts have come out of the woodwork. Welcome back, competitors. We are very competitive, and we're going to keep being number one. So we're here for you. Sunday Money brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Better prices, better parts, better everything.
Yep. And Hercules Tires. Hercules Tires, those are our people.
Yeah, those are our peeps. We don't know which one to tag the S in the back end, though. Sometimes we call it Hercules and O'Reilly's or O'Reilly and Hercules.
Because it's
I do. I actually am going to have to go to O'Reilly Auto Parts today to get some Earl and an Earl filter for my truck because the Lincoln's getting some miles on her driving back and forth from Darlington, going to Charlotte, going to be driving to Bristol, going to be going to Martinsville, not driving to Miami. I don't know what I'm going to do there. Hitchhike maybe.
Let's road trip.
No, that sounds terrible.
Take the bus.
The Greyhound bus, leave like on a Tuesday and get down there on Sunday morning.
Well, NASCAR has returned, and I want to tell you, everybody listening, that we have changed the world. The entire world has been changed because of what we did in Darlington. California has announced that they will allow pro sports to return the first week of June. Now, if you were paying attention before this, they had made it very clear that sports were done until next year. They said no pro sports until next year. And then NASCAR comes out, goes to the lady in black, puts on a show for America, and now California has reversed their decision and said starting the first week of June, pro sports are back with no fans. So congratulations, NASCAR, for leading the charge and giving Corey something to do besides making TikToks. We're very happy that he's back to work.
I only made one TikTok, and it was a great success. I thought about doing other TikToks, and then I just thought that I'm a 28-year-old guy and shouldn't be doing TikToks, and I just stopped making a TikTok. But yeah, it was pretty crazy. It was like I was sitting in my truck. I got there. I'll just go ahead and roll through my whole Sunday, shall we? I left the house at about 9:30. Got down there at about 11:30. And then we rolled to so they had a one checkpoint, I guess, for, I don't know if it was driver specific or NASCAR officials and drivers, but around the track, and they had a little guy with a temperature checker on your forehead. Beep, beep. Okay, you passed. I was 98.1, dialed in. So you had to roll in with your mask on, and then they gave you a little sticker. E for essential or E for important. And then you rolled into the tunnel, and then you sat and you waited. I was a bit of a rebel. I got out. I wanted to stretch my legs. I hadn't seen the lady in black, hadn't felt it, hadn't touched the asphalt. So I got out, and I put my mask on, and I walked a lap backwards around the track. Nobody said anything. I don't think anybody saw me. I was kind of inconspicuous, kind of like a ninja. Walked the track, kind of saw if there was any new patches down, which there was out of turn 2. So I scoped that out, felt it, touched the tar, felt it. I went back in my truck, and I sat, and I scrolled through Instagram. And I actually jumped on Jeff Gluck's Instagram Live. I don't know if anybody was watching that or not. So that was fun. And then I waited, and I changed in my truck like I was running a late model race at Tri-County Speedway when I was 15 years old. I felt kind of brought me back. You know, I was trying to finagle my suit on in the front seat of my truck. Didn't have the lounge. Didn't have a nice motorhome. Just old school, roll your sleeves up, put your fire suit on, and get to work. And that's what happened.
Well, you know, we watched. Lauren watched. Alexa watched. We all watched because we love you.
6.5 million people watched, to be exact, Daryl.
Almost 7 million people. And
it was almost 10.
Yeah, that's basically 10. And you know, the world feels like things are out of place right now. I think everybody can agree. It feels like things are out of sorts. But sure enough, just 10 seconds into that race, the universe righted itself and Ricky Stenhouse wadded it up. And I thought, we're back to normal. It feels like 2019 again. This fool can't make it 100 yards without wrecking his race. All the rope climbing and sandball throwing and squats and Danica yoga, all that training to wad up your perfectly good race car in 100 yards. Who's in charge over there? What a mess. I'm so embarrassed for you, Ricky. I'm so embarrassed.
That was pretty funny.
It's the funniest thing you've ever said.
Might be the funniest thing you ever said.
Have you ever seen somebody exercise more to wad their car up in the first 100 yards?
Can't say I have.
Jeez, my goodness, I'm embarrassed for the sport.
And, you
How
know,
pissed could Tad and Jody be after sitting around and doing nothing for 2 months, and that fool gets out there and does that? They're depending on this to keep their business alive. Ay.
Tragic. You
well,
know,
at least they got some good. I mean, that's the start of the race when everybody's watching. So, I mean, there's people probably flocking to Kroger's all of a sudden now to get their groceries because they saw him on live TV. But he happened to drive into my left rear tire that first corner. I don't really know where he was going because I was kind of underneath Daryl, and Daryl was underneath somebody else, and that was 3 wide. 3 wide out of turn 2 at Darlington does not usually work. I can assure you what doesn't work is 4 wide off of turn 2 at Darlington. And you saw what happened. We started 19th. I was only 19th for about, as you said, 100 yards, and then I had a flat tire because of that. So I had to come in, put tires on, start in the back. And I drove. We were about a 22nd place car. We would drive from last to 23rd, lose a couple spots, drive back 22nd. And then about halfway through the second stage, we had fuel problems, like fuel pickup problems, which we've had that 4 out of the last 8 races, but who's counting? So I was a little frustrated at that. It just wouldn't run. It would stumble and blubber and run like a car that you didn't get the parts at O'Reilly's. That's probably what happened. If you watched the All-In Battle for Daytona, you saw where we buy our used parts from, and it's like, I don't know. You have to go back and watch it to really know where we get our parts from. So naturally, that failed us. So we had to keep coming in and put gas in it like every 40 laps, or it would just not run.
I was going to say, you've had that issue before, right? I feel like that's a repeat of other races you've had where you had to keep coming back in.
Yes, it is. I don't know why we can't fix it, but we apparently are getting Stuart Haas a fuel cell from Stuart Haas. Wish we'd have done that a while back, but what better time than right now to fix it? So then we started overheating, actually, because all the trash and rubber from Darlington piles up in the radiator, and we had some stuff going on there that didn't allow the radiator to breathe. So our poor little engine ran 350 degrees for about 70 laps. I was waiting it to blow up, but it was a little engine that could, but it just couldn't. So we rode around, and we took a 20th place car and finished 31st with it. So I was a little frustrated with our effort, but it felt good to get back out there. And I'll tell you what, I was, to be honest, full transparency, I was a little nervous because you kind of forget, how hard or how much load, and you kind of question if you actually stayed in shape. But I felt pretty good. My neck's a little sore, back's a little sore, nothing outside the usual. But once after about 2 or 3 laps, as you saw with Ryan Newman and everybody except the guy who crashed in the first lap, it was kind of like riding a bike. You jump on it and you just pick right up where you started.
Craziness, I say.
Yeah. And then Matt Kenseth, that was a good conversation story for Sunday. It was cool to see him out there racing. It was cool to see him. Waved at him, had our mask on. He couldn't see what I was saying to him from a distance because we just were wearing masks. But I passed him once. I will say that on a restart. And then I think he realized that the 42 should never be run around the 32. So he kind of grabbed fourth gear and then he drove off. And that was the last time I saw him all day. John Hunter Nemechek had a good run. Finished ninth. I think that's front row's first non-restrictor plate top 10 in like 3 years I saw. So kudos to John Hunter Nemechek. Anything else, Daryl? Any observations? Because I only saw it from one point of view, and that was my windshield.
Yeah, so Alex Bowman continues to impress for all those people out there that thought this kid was not the real deal. He ran his tail off, and he is
well. And funny how it works when you're not worried about keeping your job and you have a little security. Just sign him another 1-year contract, stay at Hendricks. I'm sure he was feeling pretty good. Some of the stress of whether or not the chatter is real behind your back on somebody coming for your job or you're getting let go, I'm sure certainly helps performance when you can just worry about driving a car fast. And he had that, and it bless you.
Bless you.
Bless you, child.
And it showed. He ran top 3 all day. So good for Alex Bowman, another one of our favorite co-hosts. So he got himself another job for a year, and he got himself where did he finish? Second? Yeah.
And you know what's not being said is he is the strongest contender right now at Hendrick. Period.
Well, I don't know. Old Jimmy was looking strong there for a second.
He is. Jimmy is looking strong, and Jimmy would be my favorite of all time forever. But as far as bringing in the money and bringing the bacon home for the team and putting the numbers up, Alex has proven to be the leader right now over there with wins and success. True?
In 2020, yes, I will give you that.
Kurt Busch. How about a top 3 for Kurt Busch?
Ganassi cars were fast. Ganassi cars are usually fast around there. I mean, Kurt Busch led a lot of the beginning of the races last year in the Southern 500. So he's no stranger to getting around Darlington fast. But it's cool to see him up there run third.
I love your shirt, Lauren. I just noticed your shirt for anybody that's actually watching along. Let's see this shirt.
And the people who are listening, it says, slide job.
There was a lot of talk about Tyler Reddick and what a race Tyler Reddick had. I didn't really see what the big deal was, but even Matt Kenseth spoke about it and gave him some public props. I'm not surprised. Tyler Reddick's a decent race car driver and
decent.
Yeah,
give him a little more credit than that. He's won 2 Busch Series or Xfinity Series championships back to back.
Yeah, he's great. So like, I was wondering why everybody acted so shocked that he was running strong. He's a good race car driver, right?
He went from the back. He came from the back twice. I think he had a bad pit stop. Then he had a speeding penalty. So he passed a lot of cars, and there's on the wall, like there's running the high groove, and then there's on the wall. And Tyler Reddick was on the wall. His margin for error was 0, and he was there all day and did a good job of making speed because he was hauling ass.
Who was that the driver that used to be in NASCAR that used to always race close to the wall? Who was the one that what's his name? Larson. Larson used to always race close to the wall. Was he close to the wall like that?
He was closer.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Ford had a weird day. From 12th back to 18th was all Fords. It went Eric Almirola, Brad Kay, Matt D, Ryan Newman, Ryan Blaney, Clint Boyer, Joey Logano. That fills up 12 through 18. What was going on there, you think?
I don't know.
Just one of those things?
They're sort of Ford magnet. I mean, they say one Ford, so maybe the other guys that finished ahead didn't get the memo. They wanted to finish. I didn't get the memo because I would have loved to finish about, 19th? I would have loved to finish there. But I didn't.
Bell, not a great day for Christopher Bell, 24th. And
he spun out on his own, I think as did Daniel Suarez. So the track was slick for sure. And I think that one of the topics, I haven't went back and watched the broadcast, but how we had obviously everybody listening to the show knew that we had no practice laps. But I don't think that people realize the weight and how hard that is for those engineers and crew chiefs to get the exact, like, we're literally, the balance of our race cars can shift with a 30-second packer in the front. If you don't know, like, a 30-second is narrower than the width of Daryl's mustache hair, and that could change the balance of your car if it's hitting the splitter versus not. So I think a lot of the teams deserve credit, the ones that hit it right off the bat. And obviously you saw some guys like Martin Truex that didn't hit it, who was slipping, sliding around. I passed him for the first 3 runs, and all of a sudden he's running in the top 5. So that just goes to show the potential of speed once they figure out his car. You know, he's not going to be in the back all day long because those cars are too good. So I did the one time I passed Martin Truex. I said, "Get out the way! Quit holding me up!
Get out of here!"
Sure enough, here he comes to lap me 100 laps later.
I will say Brennan Poole finished above Corey LaJoie by 4 spots. Didn't see that one coming in 2020, but we'll just move on. Let's
Did
see.
you not listen to the first half of the conversation we had about my shit wouldn't run?
Jeez, I'm just saying. Oh, boy.
Joey Gase finished ahead of me.
Huh?
Joey Gase finished in front of me.
Yeah, that was not a great thing. I wasn't going to bring that one up.
Jimmy Johnson almost finished in front of me, and he was wadded up. That's how slow I was running the last 100 laps of the race.
Well, this is for Lauren and Alexa. When Jimmy Johnson was on his roll there for a minute, how excited were you guys? Jimmy Johnson looked like he was back for a minute there. Please comment.
We were amped.
I was excited. I was running errands, so I was listening to it in my car, and someone called me, and I was like, no, I have to see where, because it's getting towards the end of the stage. So I had to really sit in my car outside of Target because I needed to find out. And then, of course, he crashed.
We can talk about racing, but let's talk about Target for a minute, guys. Target is stressful. Target is like Walmart on a normal like Black Friday right now.
Target is
everywhere.
like a little piece of heaven. Okay. I love Target. It's an obsession. I go there multiple times a week. It's bad.
There's too many people.
There is. There's a line to get into our Target sometimes.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, don't sleep on Walmart, though. I've really become a Walmart fan during the quarantine.
Gastonia's rubbing off on you.
Gastonia is rubbing off on me.
No, but like, you know how when you have to pick somebody up from like school or an event and you have to circle the parking lot?
Mm-hmm.
When you're in Target, you know, Kayla goes down the aisle, but you know, there's arrows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have to take the cart and go like around to wait for her because, you know, I'm waiting in the aisle. I don't want to take the whole aisle up with the cart. So I have to like circle around, and she goes, "Where'd you go?" I said, "I'm doing a lap. I'll be right back." And you got to.
That's so polite of you.
Yeah, because otherwise you're in the aisle blocking, you know? So like I'm doing circles in Target every other aisle because there's so many people.
Dude,
Get your steps in.
Man.
Those one-way arrows at the grocery store already make my lack of navigating a grocery store.
Exactly.
It takes my half an hour grocery store trip and makes it almost an hour. I got to the point now I just disregard. I'm a rebel, and I go back.
I don't do it.
I go
Yeah,
back.
I'll walk down the aisle backwards if you want me to follow the arrow.
I will face this direction and walk backwards.
Yep.
A couple tweets that we need to address. Here's one. I don't think NASCAR has gotten the credit they deserve for creating the environment in order to get our sport back going. It wasn't the same without 90,000 plus people roaring, but those days aren't too far away. Kelly, that was a great tweet that you wrote for Corey. I thought you did a really good job. Corey, what do you want to say about Kelly's tweet?
Yeah, she's very thoughtful with her words, and she knows just the right thing to say.
No, but what was it like without fans? I mean, everybody does want to know.
It was weird. It was weird, man. Like in the race, when you're in the zone and you're kind of getting after it and ripping, you don't really notice. The only place you really notice the fans frequently in the car is like places like Daytona and Bristol, where you are like the fans are kind of on top of you. Darlington, the way the track is, you don't really see the fans, but when the national anthem is on the PA system, you know, there's no flyover and there's no people screaming, right, USA or whatever after the national anthem's over. It was weird. Like everybody's kind of standing around. They wanted you to your cars by about 3:30. Everybody's kind of standing around, masks on, not really even talking. And then all of a sudden they're like, all right. And then the PA system starts cranking up with a invocation and a national anthem. And then you just kind of got in your car and went. And I was like, all right. But it was certainly a little awkward. Like I said, I don't think it affected the competition on track, but just it was like a late model race. Like it was literally like a late model race. You show up, you sit in your truck, and you put your suit on, and then you go to the track. Like it was very bare bones. There wasn't a whole lot of fluff, but I don't think we're going to get a whole lot of fluff until the foreseeable future.
Where's Kelly?
Right there.
Kelly, can I ask you a question?
Sure can.
Have you noticed anything with Corey's ego in the last week, like not wanting to do diapers or just kind of carrying himself a little more cocky as he walks around the house? I was just wondering if you've noticed that.
No, we've been at the house less. That's what I've noticed.
Well, because I was just wondering because Ricky Craven, NASCAR legend, sent out a good luck text to Corey and said, "Good luck, Corey LaJoie, at Darlington. Your primary competition today is the track. You have the talent. Now demonstrate the discipline. Bring home a finish inside the top half of today's field. Would be a big boost for a small team. Thumbs up. Pulling for you, number 32. I mean, when Ricky Craven tweets Corey LaJoie, you got to imagine it's hard to get his head through that door coming home, you know?
Yeah, I mean, 2-time Cup winner Ricky Craven.
Corey.
I like Ricky Craven, and Ricky Craven won at Darlington. I'm a big Ricky Craven fan. He's from I think he's from Vermont, maybe from Maine. He's from up the Northeast. So the Cravens and the LaJoies are well-known names up in the Northeast. And
And you let him down.
I let him down. I didn't let him down. My football let him down because we were actually going to finish in the top half of the. I was better than Priest. Priest finished 20th. Therefore, he's starting on the pole on Wednesday, tomorrow.
We almost had the pole.
I almost had the pole, Daryl.
Until you didn't.
Until I didn't. Until faulty equipment relegated me to a 31st place finish. Now, honestly, it's probably better off because my speed on a restart is about 12 miles an hour less than the guys that usually are in front of me 98% of the time. So being first in front of a pack of cars that are way faster probably wouldn't bode very well when I'm middle of 7 wide on the backstretch. But you best believe if I was on the front row, I'm leading that first lap, come hell or high water.
It's a little early in the morning for all this wine, Corey.
I'm not whining. How was that whining?
Faulty equipment. If I had done this and that, you're going to get the fans out of the woodwork again. They're going to start calling you a whiner.
That's fine. I mean, if people think that me saying what actually happened is whining, then they can go listen to another podcast and listen to somebody else whine.
I don't think that. Lauren doesn't think that. Alexa doesn't think that.
I don't know. I mean, if me just saying that we broke down is complaining, it is what it is, man. Sorry.
As a driver, can you go to Archie and say politely, "Hey, this is the 10th time this has happened. What gives?"
Well, we had a meeting yesterday on it. I was a little bit fired up, but I was wanting to do more listening than I was talking because I probably don't know the full story. But, I think that they don't want anything to happen either because it's money out of their pocket with back in purse and it's points. And it's, we've had 3 mechanical issues this year so far that by my calculations probably left 20 to 25 points on the table. And if that's the difference between a couple spots in the points at the end of the year, that could be a lot of money to him. So he's just incentivized as much as I am to finish better. And if our stuff breaks, there's nobody really to blame besides either the manufacturers or not getting the ideal equipment. But I do think that we are hopefully getting the stuff that we need. And if it happens again, then there's only so many people to blame, right? But it doesn't. I can assure you nobody is a happy camper when stuff does break or not go how it's supposed to, because we have enough stuff stacked against us to begin with, you know, some older cars and not the tier 1 engine programs. We can't afford to shoot ourselves in the foot with problems that we can control.
I heard NASCAR asked all the drivers to keep a list of everybody they interacted with throughout the day. Is that true?
They didn't. I might have missed that email, but I don't know. NASCAR did everything they could do to make sure they were covered if anything happens. Right? They gave us all the literature, made us do all the questionnaires, made us do all the checks, made us do the quarantine stuff, not see anybody. That way, if something does happen, you know, NASCAR can say, oh, you know, we did our part, which they are, you know, and I think that they're putting it into our hands a little bit to be smart with who we surround ourselves with and kind of be a little bit more cautious than we probably normally would be.
Did you tell them you saw Daniel Suarez at the gas station on the way to work?
We could talk about that after the break.
Oh, we're taking a break. Okay, we'll take a break. Let's take a break. We'll take a break and we'll come back with more Sunday Money. No, we're live again. Do we want to talk about the fact that, Lauren, I don't know if you read in the news, we might have to find a new podcast partner because Corey's been accused of cheating on iRacing by having his brother fill in for him.
I heard.
Corey, do you want to address these accusations? I have businesses to run. I can't be affiliated with this. What? Hold on.
Hell yeah. Look at that mustache.
Andrew Rogers, what's up, bro?
Man, that is solid. Yes, sir.
Tastes good too.
Husband Andrew has entered the chat. Andrew, what's going on, man?
Don't shave it.
I like it. I mean, I wouldn't want him to wear this like to our wedding or something, but I think it looks pretty good.
Good thing you got married a while back.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have the whole rest of your life to wear that mustache.
Let's check in with Andrew. Andrew's a real NASCAR fan. I know you were in front of the TV. Andrew, give us your
Okay, I should have taken a picture of his setup. Because so we currently are we back? Are we doing like is this
we're on.
Okay. We're back from break.
So I completely forgot about this. So we don't have a couch right now because I bought a new one. We sold our old one. It hasn't been delivered yet, whatever. So Andrew took one of our like camping chairs that happens to have a cooler in the arm of it, plopped it down in the middle of our living room, put beers in the cooler, and that's where he sat and watched the race for however many hours it took. Like the white trash that he is.
The only thing I was missing was a catheter.
I mean, what's wrong with that? I mean, that sounds like a devoted race fan to me.
Andrew.
I mean, we were basically camping because I was sitting on an air mattress. Sleeping on an air mattress.
If she said she watched the race, she's lying.
I said that I took a nap.
Okay.
You guys used to live in a luxury tower in the center of the city, and now you're out in the sticks without furniture? What happened, Britney Spears?
They're living like minimalists.
I might as well shave my head at this point.
Andrew, what happened with the race? Tell us from a fan perspective. We're too close to it. Did you enjoy it? Was it a good race? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good race. I was enjoying it as soon as Ricky Stenhouse wrecked before the first lap. I was like, oh, this is going to be fantastic. This is going to be all day. And then Jimmy Johnson, I was like, oh, boy. I kind of laughed. I woke Lauren up when that happened. But I thought it was good. I mean, it was nice to watch live sports again.
I agree. I know you are an admitted Corey LaJoie fan. He's on here right now. Would you like to tell him how disappointed you are with his performance? Because I know that's got to affect your Sunday.
Well, I will tell you, I didn't put you on my DraftKings lineup. So
that's a good call. I would have recommended anybody to put me on DraftKings. My plus minus would not have been good.
Oh, I know. As soon as I drew that number 19 spot, I was like, yep, no, not happening. Sorry.
My own family wouldn't even take me in DraftKings because they know It's hard to take a 28th place car and run 19th with it, especially when you start 19th. So,
but you were running good, and I heard that you got damage on a restart or something. And I was like, well, shit, there it goes.
well, then when the motor runs, it runs a little better. But this week is the week for DraftKings because I start 31st, and we'll finish about 21st, 22nd. That'll be a solid DraftKings day.
I'll split the winnings with you.
No, I can't make any more.
It's going to make a big difference.
For the gambling protocol in NASCAR. So.
Yeah.
Well, it was probably only going to be like a
I probably
$5 win
can't even
anyway.
either.
So.
Hold on. I'm out of the loop. So let me get this straight. Lauren gets in trouble for going to Home Goods and Target and TJ Maxx and blowing money.
Exactly.
But you're betting frivolously on NASCAR races? Hold
Difference
on.
between $200 and $10.
Oh, well, that's fair.
$10 could have won me $200,000.
What?
Well, you should have got it right.
Hold on,
Yeah.
Andrew. I want to make $200,000. Take me through this real quick. We can turn into a betting podcast. Wait, what happens? What do I do?
We can't have any part of this.
We can't turn this into a betting podcast. Do you have a hard card, Daryl?
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't bet.
I don't even know if he's supposed to living in the same house as me because I'm pretty sure I've signed a waiver before that says
I can't gamble. I don't even have a job.
take all of this out.
You can gamble up to $250.
Andrew, did Kurt Busch had a great run? Hunter Nemechek. Are there other drivers you're keeping your eyes on for the next race now because they are showing their performances?
No.
No. He only had eyes for Corey.
No. No. I mean,
He's
You
a
can-
wise gambler.
you can run great one race, and then, the next 10 races you do not finish or finish in the, 30s. So,
Yeah.
All right. I'm
He's not a
learning.
beginner to this stuff, Daryl. He pays more
Gotta go
attention.
to work.
Back to work. See you guys.
Yeah, nice mustache.
Appreciate it.
Lauren, last time we were on the podcast, we found out that you had been hiding the family credit card from your husband. Has that been recovered? Have you guys settled that fight?
First of all, he just couldn't find it in my purse. Corey wasn't on whenever we did this, but Andrew decided to revoke my credit card this past week. Whatever.
It's not a big deal.
But he couldn't find it. It was in my purse and he couldn't find it. But I found it and I hid it.
Of course you did. Where'd you hide it? In the secret compartment in the Volvo?
I'm not telling you.
You only take it out for special occasions.
I'm not telling you.
Lauren,
Like every
did you
day
tell
at 4
Corey?
o'clock.
Corey, Lauren's a business owner now. Did you tell Corey you're running a business?
Daryl, it was a one-time deal. Corey, I've gotten in the pallet business. I like buying pallet junk.
That's good.
So that's why Andrew gets mad at me because I almost spent $1,700 on a pallet last week. It had a lot of good stuff on it though, like a Dyson hairdryer. I really wanted it, but he was like, absolutely not, Lauren. I will divorce you if you do this. So
No, he won't. He's that's just tough talk. He won't divorce you.
Yeah.
He's not
he's
going.
full of shit. I'm like, Andrew, it's $1,700, but I have the potential to sell all this junk on Facebook Marketplace for way more. It's just given me something to do during this, and I just think it's fun.
I will say that people do. I know people that do the pallet stuff that they just buy. It's kind of like, what is it, Storage Wars, where people buy the storage containers just hoping something's in there.
Yeah, it's a surprise. Like sometimes I've only bought one, but like you spend $400, it may be great. It may be a bunch of junk, but it's a risk I'm willing to take.
So gambling has become a problem in this marriage, is
I
what we're
think
saying.
it might. I think that we're seeing that that's a problem.
Corey, she bought a
Anyways.
pallet, and she's been selling all this baby stuff online, and Andrew was not having it because she took the profits and went right to TJ Maxx and spent it all.
Well, what else is she supposed to do?
Yeah, what else am I gonna do with it? That's what he was yelling at me. So I'm about $200. I'm cash flow positive by about $200 on my last pallet. And he yelled at me because he's like, well, then you just went to TJ Maxx and you spent it. I'm like, Andrew, that's $200 I would have spent at TJ Maxx regardless. So
Right.
at least it cancels it out.
You're losing money not doing it.
Exactly.
Losing money.
Oh boy, what a mess.
Whatever. Guys, I need to get back to work.
She's got pallets.
Yeah.
Corey, did Kelly make you sleep in the garage when you came back from the race, like a 24-hour quarantine to make sure you were
No.
all clean?
I literally didn't see, like, the only person I saw or got really close with was Daniel Suarez when I pulled into the Quick Trip on the way to Darlington. His truck was there, so I wanted to be a good friend, put his mirrors in for him, and also make a funny Instagram story, which nobody really thought that I was as funny as I did. But he came out like right at the end of that video. He's like, "Hey, amigo, ¿qué pasa?" And I didn't know if he was gonna roll on me or something. He's kind of sounded mean.
Did
So
he
I
know?
flipped his
He didn't know it was you?
I don't think he did. Until he was like, "Oh, hola, amigo." So, flip my mirrors out.
It's the best gas station ever.
That's the best. It's the best. Except for Sunoco gas stations, the official fuel of NASCAR. But Quick Trips are pretty good too. So I got fuel, I got some water, and that's it. And then I sat in my truck and I literally went and like sat for 3 hours, got in my car. The guy who helped me hook all my stuff up, he was wearing gloves, wearing masks. And then once that race was over, I was mad enough to where I just grabbed my stuff and left before anybody got to the car and jumped in my truck and drove home.
Can we talk about the fact that if you have a bad race, say at Michigan, then, you know, you think about it, but you have a lot of time until you go back to Michigan, right? So you're like, well, next time we go there, I'm going to try this. I'm going to do this. This is a unique situation. You're going back to the same racetrack, what, 3 days later?
Yeah, if it doesn't rain tomorrow. Yeah, I don't think we've ever done that before. So it's pretty cool. I'm interested to see who's going to improve and who's going to recreate the wheel and try to, you know, bring something back totally different and be worse. I do think that you'll see some less comers and goers, but the beginning's going to be exciting because the guy who finished 20th, Ryan Preece, is going to be starting the pole, and the guy Harvick, who won the race, will be starting 20th. 21st through the back of the field will be the same, but there's a reason why those guys finished 20th, right? They're not as fast as the guys that won the race. So those guys will be going forward, and the guys that started in the front will be going backwards. And I wonder if there's going to be any incidents from guys trying to be a little bit too aggressive too early.
Are you planning to stay clear of Ricky Stenhouse, knowing what we know now?
I think he's probably going to be pretty tentative, I would imagine, because 2 times in 2 weeks or 3 days, I guess, probably would not bode very well if he put himself in another bad predicament. So I would imagine Ricky's going to be a little bit more cautious this time around.
Yeah, Ricky Stenhouse. You know, I'm joking, guys. Obviously, you know, I'm sure he would prefer that things went different, and he actually owned up to it. Corey, I don't know if did you have a chance to hear his apology video?
Well, he said it looked like the 32 had to check up. I see. Is that what you're referring to?
I think so. He said,
not really sure a whole lot what to say there about our first lap, first corner. Pretty embarrassing for
you, Ricky.
My crew guys, I feel awful for them. They put a lot of hard work into getting our cars ready and coming all the way down here to Darlington. And then to, you know, put myself in a bad spot there. 32 looked like he had to check up, and I put myself on the inside of him and just put ourselves in a bad spot. End out our race before it ever started. So looking forward to getting back here on Wednesday to, you know, try and put a better run together and put this behind us.
And there you have it. There you have it. Now, I may have checked up, yeah, because Bubba Wallace got jammed up, and I was bottom of 3 wide. And I don't know if I needed to remind anybody, we haven't raced in 10 weeks, and we had 0 practice. So making it 3 wide myself probably wasn't the smartest thing to do. So I don't know if making it 4 wide was probably the best thing to do either. So that's kind of what happened.
Well, there you have it, guys. from the horse's mouth. By the way, he looked very comfy in his motor coach there.
Yeah, he's got a killer beard and his flow looks magnificent right now. But, yeah, not a good day for RSJ.
Did he send you a text message at least and say, hey, my bad?
No.
Wow.
I mean, I didn't expect one, but I mean, it is what it is. I'd have been like, that probably wasn't the smartest thing you ever done. But I like Ricky. Ricky. He's a good race car driver. He just made a mistake.
If I run into you at the grocery store with my cart, I'm going to stop and say, sorry, pardon me, excuse me, sorry about that. Just saying.
Yeah, but we're not racing grocery carts. We're racing real-life cars.
That's true. Do we want to pick our clutch performer of the week?
Sure.
Go ahead, guys. Debate. I'll find out what I have to say.
Who do you think, Lauren?
Matt Kenseth.
All right. I think John Hunter. I think there's a good couple clutch performers of the week. Let's give multiple.
Yeah.
Let's give a clutch performer of the week. Let's give a.
You have to commit.
No, because we can give clutch coffee out to anybody who wants it.
Can we so Alexa, who she wants to be the clutch performer? Perhaps there's a vote here to be had. Alexa?
There's not a vote. Everybody gets clutch coffee. If you want a nice latte, then you go to a clutch coffee bar in Mooresville, North Carolina. I think we should give a clutch coffee to Steve Phelps for NASCAR, for getting us back on the racetrack. We should give
Not firing me.
Not firing Lauren.
Or Alexa.
He gets an extra large coffee for that. Matt Kenseth gets a coffee, but he probably doesn't even drink coffee because he probably drinks like celery juice and cayenne pepper all day long because he's just super healthy and he bikes like 1,000 miles a day. John Hunter Nemechek deserves a coffee.
Here, this coffee's for you, Johnny.
My fuel pump and my radiator do not deserve a coffee. So hopefully they'll get on the ball and fix it for Wednesday.
The Clutch Performer of the Week is brought to you by Clutch Coffee Bar in Mooresville, North Carolina. You can order Clutch coffee beans online and have them shipped directly to you. So go to clutchcoffeebar.com. All right, well, and now we look ahead to this week, really, tomorrow, actually. If it does rain, what is the plan? Do we know?
If it rains tomorrow, they're going to move it back to Thursday. If it rains Thursday, they're going to move back to Friday. They're working with Fox on the timing of that, I guess. So
that means you have to drive up there each time.
Yeah, I don't know. I would imagine so. Yeah, I think they would try to call it before in a timely fashion if the forecast doesn't look great. That would be pretty wild to run a 300-mile race at Darlington on Friday and then turn around and run a 600-mile race on Sunday. Mm-hmm. That would separate the men from the boys for sure. But let's hope we can just line it up and race tomorrow. But if not, NASCAR will change the plans accordingly. What I am worried about a little bit, which there's no other way around it because we're in a time of necessity more so than it's opportunity. But with trucks racing, Xfinity racing, and we're going to have racing on 4 or 5 nights out of the week when we get going on TV, whether it be FS1 or Fox. I worry about it kind of getting oversaturated a little bit, but we don't really have an option. We just have to get these races in. But I do think that it's going to, if you let the fans, if racing's on TV 5 nights a week, people will pick and choose which night more so than picking a race on Sunday that fits into their schedule.
Watch your stick, Corey.
What?
Stick them on your boob.
My boobs don't carry the magic that Kelly's do.
What a year, guys. What an absolute year it's been.
Yeah, 2020 blows.
Well, we did it. I guess we'll go ahead and remind you that it's O Rewards Bonus Points Month. Is that right? It's O Rewards Bonus Points Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Stop in today for store-wide savings. And plus, earn double O Rewards points on all sale items. Lauren loves a sale. like wiper blades, motor oil, tools, accessories, and more. Not an O Rewards member yet? Sign up today online or in store and take advantage of bonus points a month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. It's fast, easy, and free, but hurry. Double points are only available for a limited time. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Well, guys,
Great job, Daryl.
we have not got any reviews. No reviews lately, so there's nothing to read. Everybody is busy with the pandemic. They're not sending us reviews.
We'll send some reviews and we'll read them. Unless they're mean, then we won't read them.
Yeah, 2020 is not the year to bully. We're done bullying, guys. Hold on.
Yeah. I mean, Mother Nature's done enough bullying of itself. Everybody be nice to each other.
Do you want to update everybody? Any new-time parents that are expecting? Anything you've learned since, Lauren's an experienced parent now. You're still new, Corey.
It's a lot of work, man. Right now he's 7 weeks or what is it? No, I guess he's over 2 months now. So he is fussy and crying and complaining and hungry and eating all the time. But it's a lot of fun. Joey and Brittany had their second, little Jameson. So she's doing good. Little Jameson Jet's doing good. They're going to be buddies.
Good.
Cute baby. Breaking news, we do have a review, Corey.
Do we? What's it say?
5 stars. Joe wants to know. Hey, Sunday Money crew. That's all of us. Just watched Sunday's race at Darlington. Awesome to have a little bit in our lives back, and thank you for being a part of the solution. But my question is, how do we convince whoever is broadcasting the race to focus on everybody that's in it? Just watching the top 5 positions 90% of the time is great for a small portion of those drivers, but there was a lot going on from 20th to 30th, as well as from 10th to 20th. How can we as viewers help change the broadcast content so it can include the whole field so everybody can enjoy it? Well, that is a good question.
That is the $1 billion question. And I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, the storylines are the ones that the guys that are contending for wins, right? But I sure would love some love spread out. So would Levi.
He's sad about it.
Can you come take him, please?
Alexa, Lauren, you're in this biz. Anything you need to know?
No one listens to me.
Well, we'll come back with more, I guess.
No, we
Tuesday.
won't. We're done.
Yeah, we're done.
Oh, this is the final episode. Thank you guys for listening over the years. I'm finally free. I'm off to New York City.
Well, hey, when can we start doing it in person at MRN?
I mean, right now it's just me and like 2 other people at the office, and I don't think the office is open for people to come in. But as soon as it is, which I have been told probably like mid to end of June is what they're looking at having people back in the office. So
I don't know how many more of these Zoom calls I can do with you guys.
I know. We have to set some chairs up in somebody's yard.
Let's do an outside one.
Hold a microphone.
Social distancing hour.
We'll do one in your garage, Corey.
We can have a happy hour. Oh
I'm
yeah,
down.
we can do
If anybody
Sunday
wants to
honeys.
set it up, I would do a backyard one for sure.
Okay.
Whose backyard?
Wherever. You just pick.
Where?
I don't drive down to Gastonia.
I'm not going to Belmont.
That's why I didn't offer. It's only 30 minutes up the road, but whatever.
37 minutes. It's far.
Oh my God.
down the road.
Much.
Thank you to our sponsors, Hercules Tires and O'Reilly Auto Parts, and thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.